Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So, guys, I feel like this clip needs to be shown to every girl child in South Africa. If you did not see it on Newsroom Africa, I am going to provide it for you. Please, if you are a mother, if you are a sister, if you are a brother, if you're an uncle, if you're an auntie, if you are a concerned member of your community for the girl children in your community, please show them this video because it's very important that they get to see if ever they are approached, mostly by green, white, and green people, to say, hey, I love you, and I'm going to stigmatize you, and then we'll go to Brazil for a vacation, and I'll stigmatize you some more there, and then from there you have to swallow some bullets of white powder, and then cross the Atlantic Ocean to OR Tambo International, where you are going to get caught, and then your life as you know it ceases to exist for the next 15, 18, 25 years, sometimes even life imprisonment. I feel this is very important that they get to be shown the possibility, in fact, not even a possibility, that they are going to get caught. They might not get caught for the first time or the second time, but eventually they are going to get caught. I just learned that these green, white, and green people, they offer them 35,000 Rand to swallow these bullets of white powder. I mean, this morning, we learned that yesterday, another drug mule, a Paraguayan man, swallowed over 117 bullets. In fact, it's more than that because they stopped him from releasing because he started bleeding, and so they rushed him to the hospital. So chances are they're gonna have a C-section on him because they want to stop the bleeding and stuff like that. Another one, 14th, they are saying 14th. So it's clear that these people are not relenting. By hook or crook, these white powder needs to come to South Africa. It needs to hit our streets running. And again, I'm still asking, but what about the people, the masterminds? What about them? Because you are only giving us the drug mule. Where is the final destination? Because I am sure that these people are going to meet somebody at the airport. If they're not going to meet somebody at the airport, they are going to drive to where they need to go deliver these merchandises, right? So now why don't the police follow this individual to get to the mastermind? That is what I'm interested in. It's all good and well that the mules are getting caught, but what about the person that has come to collect the merchandise from them? And the question I've been asking as well: how do they actually return home alive? That's one of my concerns, because you just flew from another country to South Africa where you don't have family members or any type of emergency except to rely on the systems of the country are going to, and somebody just opened you up because they want that stuff that is inside of you. That's what my concerns. I'm very concerned. But now, when you listen to the stories of these young ladies, I mean, you want to feel sorry, but you are thinking, women, you were bringing stuff into the country that was going to destroy the life of so many children in this country. Why should I feel sorry for you? Just because you got children of your own that you will never allow to take this thing that you transported to South Africa, why should I feel sorry for you? You know, you are crying because no family members of yours or your children has come to say hello and give you a hug. Those are the privileges that you lose when you are a mule. And this is education that should be instilled in our girl children in particular. I know the boy kid as well needs to be educated, but seemingly these green, white, and green people, they go for young girls, gullible young girls for 35,000 Rand. That is if they ever get it. It's sad. It is so sad, you know, but they deserve it. If your child ends up going to Brazil, just pray they are not coming back pregnant with bullets of white powder. Please kneel down and pray. Anyways, I thought, let me just give you this thought of mine. Maybe something will resonate. But if you're a parent of girl children, please let them see this. Let it be in their minds that if I do something like this, it's over.
Let's bring you back to our focus this morning. Police have arrested yet another suspected drug mule at the country's biggest and busiest airport, OR Tambo International. A 43-year-old Paraguayan man who was traveling from Brazil was found to have swallowed pellets of suspected cocaine. The latest arrest brings into focus questions around why South Africa remains an attractive destination for drug rings. In this special feature, Newsroom Africa's Linda Mnisi speaks to foreign inmates who were nabbed in this country.
In the cold, dark aisle of the female section of Johannesburg prison, popularly known as Sun City, I walk to meet Ida Cabana from Paraguay, who is serving time for drug trafficking. The hairdresser's dream of expanding her business led her to the world of narcotics in 2012. She was lured by a client and gave in. Cabana made her first successful trip to South Africa, which gave her money to fulfill her dream. She was even able to save. But then drug kingpins came back, threatening her to go back. But her second trip wasn't as successful.
I arrived there in Rotterdam, and they just called me. They said, come this side, come this side. So I just went and said, where's your bag? You're traveling back, your suitcase. But in signal language, because I didn't understand a word. They just said to me, come, in signal language. I went there. She said, the police said to me, look, who is yours? Like, what you do? Take it, what is yours? Because it's coming in the bag, in the suitcase. In this case, it's coming, it's like a shampoo, because they prepare like a liquid, the drug. Because this is how they call block. And then they have to unblock it with some chemicals, so it can come back to normal. And I took it, but the police went straight to the bottle and just cut and say, here's the drug.
She was handed a hefty 18-year sentence after drugs worth an estimated 2 million rands were recovered. The 40-year-old has been behind bars for 10 years in a foreign country with not a single visit from her children or other family members. What is life like here?
Every day is the challenge, because no one day is the same. Every day is a new thing, is a new challenge you have to face. And I never hug him. None of my blood family to the from 10 years.
None of them have visited you?
I have my embassy who's coming to see me. And I met some of inmates, colleagues, family members who sometimes they come to see me.
But none from your own?
None from my own. I never got visit. I never hug in none of my family, which is, for me, is important. I think it's for every human being. It's important, the hug.
Of the 14 arrests made by police so far, 4 are from Brazil, a country where 25-year-old Ryan de Souza is from. She sits in a small cell detailing how she turned to drug trafficking to provide for her soon-to-be-born son. This after the man who impregnated her refused to father the baby. She says she always wanted to come to South Africa, but to work as a doctor. But instead, she gave birth as an inmate in South Africa. And she last saw her baby on the day she received her 15-year sentence. This is also the day he took his first steps.
When they give my sentence, like I did, as I say, I didn't know English. So when they say 15 years, for me was that 15 years. I never understand when they say they're taking 5 years out. So I calmed down and he was standing in the park. She was look at me and I was crying, but she was smiling. So he come to me and he started walking. There I say, oh my world, he's gonna go before me. I was just repeating that my son will go before me.
Moroccan trafficker Sabrine Mabroki too was pregnant and desperate. She had to learn how to speak South African languages.
I learned English, where is the most language that I can communicate with everyone in a perfect way. SiZulu, I can. I abantwana ukuthi uMabroki uyahlala la. I don't want to gossip about me because hey, utombazana understand uncle.
These women sit behind bars acknowledging their wrongs with a little hope of seeing their loved ones anytime soon. For Newsroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Lean Damnisi at the Johannesburg Correctional Services Center.
P.S. Let's talk about the prison condition in this particular prison. I think it's Johannesburg prison, Sun City to be exact. Do you see how decent it looks compared to South American prisons? No, if your child gets caught in South Africa, well, probably this is the kind of cell they are going to stay in. And I don't want this to look like an attractive place to be versus the prisons in South America, Brazil to be in particular, where the conditions are inhumane.
These women are in prison, but dancing seems to give them a little sense of freedom, even if locked behind bars.
When I'm in the dancing lessons, it's like I'm traveling somewhere else. I feel free on the inside and outside. And I think this will be important for me to value simple things in life when I'm back out in society.
These activities inside the prison are important both for the inmates and for the prison workers, so they can see the other as a human being, an individual, and it helps the inmates to see there are other things in life beyond being in prison.
These dancing lessons are provided by the NGO Ponto de Luz, or Point of Light in English, which works with women's prisons to try and improve detainees' quality of life. Government data show the number of incarcerated women in Brazil rose more than sixfold between 2000 and 2016, from about 5,600 detainees to more than 42,000. The majority, more than 60%, are in for drug dealing.
So this to me is like, wow, I don't think these women are that much worried about, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm treated inhumanely. Maybe because they had to learn a new language. Maybe that was the difficult part about it. But now it's 10 years later. Within 10 years, we ought to have learned English at least. The other one even learned Zulu, which is interesting, by the way. But I just thought, have you seen the prison cell? I mean, that doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all.